Hi everybody, I'm Mr. Fox, and this video is just to inform the students that missed the zeroth period kind of interest meeting that we had today during advisory. So this is the PowerPoint slide that we kind of covered, but I wanted to make a video going over it because there was more information presented at the meeting than just what's on the slides. I think if you watch this video, this will be pretty much cover what we went over today in the meeting. And at the end, there's a form you can fill out if you are interested in committing to the zeroth period in AP Chemistry. All right, guys. So at the end, there's going to be a link or a QR code that you can take the survey, so you can let the administration know that you might be interested or committed to the zeroth period. And it's only going to work if we get a certain number of students that are committed to do it. And it is a big commitment, so it's something that you should think about. But we kind of need a quick turnaround on this, so think about it over a day or two, and then make sure if it's something that you think you want to do, then go ahead and pull the trigger on it and let us know. Because again, we need about 30 students to commit to it, or it won't be able to happen. All right, so zeroth period is just so what that means is it's a class before school actually starts. So our school starts at 8:10. Zeroth period would be from 7:10 to 7:55, and instead of being a block class, it would meet 4 days a week: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So from 7:10 to 7:55, Tuesday through Friday. And Monday, you would be responsible for an asynchronous day. So you wouldn't have to come in Monday morning for class from 7:10 to 7:55, but there would be an assignment, probably in Schoology or an AP classroom that you would have to complete, or a video you would have to watch sometime during the day on Monday. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay, so just kind of understanding what zero period is, or how it's going to work is, or why we're doing it. First, you're helping out the school, right? The third floor science classrooms, there's not that many. We have a large student population, and we don't necessarily have enough science classrooms to go around. Sometimes we have to kick like a geosystems or an AP environmental science or something, to a non-science classroom, which can be kind of a pain for the students because they're not in a science classroom, but also the teachers because they're not in a classroom that they're used to. And so this helps out the school with kind of our crowding issue. It'll open up a block that isn't during the actual school day, that'll open up for another science class to take advantage of. So we'll have less teachers that have to travel from one classroom to another. We would have less science classes in non-science classrooms. And so it's just something to help us out, okay? The benefits that you get that aren't necessarily academic benefits, but the benefits you would get are a guaranteed parking spot. Now, and we'll go over some of the questions that were asked at the meeting, but it is something you would have to pay for. You still have to pay for your parking spot, but you would be guaranteed a parking spot. So I don't know if you've ever come to school early, but there's a lot less traffic at 7 a.m. than there is at 8 a.m. And so you wouldn't have the stress of trying to get here on time for your 8:10 class. There's no traffic. It's really easy. I know maybe some of you have your parents drop you off. Dropping off at 7 a.m. is a lot easier than dropping off at 8 a.m. and you're dealing with all the traffic. So that might help out your parents a little bit. And depending on when your free period's going to be, you might be able to leave school early. You might be able to use it as a study hall class, that kind of thing. That's going to be something that you work out with your counselor and see if it fits within the schedule. So I can't guarantee that you'll be able to leave early, but it. And again, it's not something I can really answer. It's something that you would have to work out with your counselor and they would have to work out with the master schedule of all the classes and stuff. So there's a lot that goes into that. Okay, so, but it is a possibility. Okay, whoops. All right, so the reason I think it's going to be a big win for students in terms of being successful in AP chemistry is throughout the years of me teaching AP chemistry, I've developed a system where you try to do a little bit of chemistry outside of the classroom every single day. And it's hard to do when it's, your traditional block scheduling, where, sometimes we might just meet twice a week. If there's a snow day, it might just be once a week, depending on what happens. And if you only focus on chemistry, the days you have chemistry and during the actual AP class time, you're not going to be successful in the class. You got to do a little bit every day, and that'll help you retain all the information. And the biggest part about chemistry is not necessarily the chemistry, but it's making the connections from topic to topic to topic. And you can really only make those connections if you know the stuff. And you have to know it. You have to memorize stuff, right? You have to know if this is true, then that is true, and then this is also true, and then I can make that conclusion, and then I can jump to this conclusion. But in order to make all those connections, you have to know it. And if you just repeat the same thing every day, you start to memorize it, you start to internalize it, you're able to make those connections. And it's the kids that focus on chemistry a little bit every single day. Those are the ones that are most successful. If you take AP chemistry and it's a traditional block schedule, I encourage you to focus on chemistry a little bit every single day. And the students that do that are definitely more successful than the students who don't, who procrastinate and push things off. Just force yourself to do a little bit every day outside of your actual class. And the thing is, if you get into zero period, you're going to be forced to focus on chemistry at least 5 times a week. And that's a kid that has block scheduling on a Tuesday, Thursday week, they're only going to have to think about chemistry twice a week, 2 times that week. And they're at much more of a disadvantage than you that look at chemistry a little bit every single day that week. And you're going to be able to make those connections a lot faster and internalize the information and keep it and hold on to it throughout the year so you can be successful on the AP exam and get that 5 and get that college credit and all that good stuff. So I think it's a win. If you can do it. Now, again, it only makes sense if, you have a schedule that you can get up early in the morning and get yourself to school and you don't have anything else going on. Like if you're, on the swim team and you have, practice at 7 or sometimes I know, some of the sports have morning practices, from like 6:30 to 7:30. Well, you wouldn't be able to go to that practice. Or if you signed up for this course. So if you're in that kind of situation where you have morning practices that would interfere with this time, then you shouldn't sign up for zeroth period because, again, you're a student athlete, not an athlete student. And so, if you do sign up for zeroth period, you're going to have to be at school at 7:10 for the class, okay? So again, I think a little bit of chemistry every day is beneficial. Now, in the normal block scheduling, I have little things that are designed to get the students to do stuff every single day. One of those things is the bonus of the day. If you have me as a chemistry teacher this year, general chemistry or honors chemistry, then you're kind of familiar with this as the QOTD, the question of the day. So you win prizes by doing the most BOTDs. You win prizes by getting the most BOTDs correct, 100% correct. I have a thing called AP Chemistry Club where we can meet before school or after school every single day of the week, and you get a little incentive for coming at least twice a week over the course of a unit. But the problem is it's all voluntary and not, a good amount of students do take advantage of this stuff, and they end up being successful in AP Chemistry. But there's too many that don't take advantage of it because they don't have the time to, or things get in the way, or they think they can just get by just showing up to chemistry and only focusing on chemistry during chemistry class, and they're not successful. What the early bird or the zero period would do is now you're required to think of chemistry a little bit every day. You can't hide from it. You're going to be doing it 5 days a week, and then hopefully you do a little bit on the weekend, so you do a little chemistry every day. But it'll lock you into this system to be successful. And I can slide myself out of the way. Yeah, okay. So I think it's a win. If you know you're a morning person, you can get up early, you can get yourself here, you can be here at 7:10. I think it'll just kind of open things up for you. It'll help you be success in other classes. You'll have a system. You'll stick to the system throughout the year, and I think you're gonna not only find that it's going to help you be successful in learning chemistry, but I think it's going to help you with all your classes. You get in this mode. If I was in your position and I had room in my schedule, it's a definite. It's something I would sign up for. But again, you don't. You know yourself, and you know all the other things that you have going on, and so you know if it will work or not. Okay. So if you weren't at the meeting, these were kind of some of the questions that we were asked about. So the parking pass, the main thing is, yeah, you would be guaranteed one, but you would have to pay for it still. What happens if it's a snow day? It would just be like any other day. If school's canceled, school's canceled. If it was a 2-hour delay, I think it would start at 9:10 instead of 7:10. I think that's what the plan would be, but I'm not 100% sure about that. That might be a safety issue. But again, that's a bridge we can cross if we end up with this class or not. Will we still have AP Chem Club? Absolutely. It'll just be, after school. So, you would be more than welcome to come to AP Chemistry Chem Club after school. If you have a free period, if your free period is 7th period or 8th period, so you leave early that day, well then, you just probably wouldn't come to AP Chem Club that day. If I get to leave early every blue day, then I won't plan on coming to AP Chem Club on blue days, but I'll just show up to AP Chem Club on orange days. So yeah, AP Chem Club is still going to be a thing. And then for our asynchronous Mondays, when we don't have our morning class scheduled on Monday mornings, there would still be morning AP Chem Club on those days. So every Monday before school, there would be AP Chem Club. So if you wanted to get your asynchronous Mondays done at school in the chemistry classroom, you just come during your normal chemistry classroom time just on a Monday and be involved in AP Chem Club. Can you pick your free period? Again, that's going to be something to discuss with your counselors. It's really going to depend on all the other classes you're taking. And, let's say you wanted your free period to be second block or second period, but you're signed up for a class that only meets that time. Then no, you're not going to be able to have that block because you wanted to take maybe advanced band or something, I don't know, that only meets second period or only meets 8th period, right? So some classes, especially when there's only 1 or 2 sections of it, they only meet certain periods of the day. And if you're signed up for one of those classes, then you're going to have to be locked into that period, and you would have to get a free period, somewhere else. So it's really going to depend on the overall schedule, the classes you're signed up for, and kind of what works best for you. But administration has said that this is going to be a priority, and so they're going to try to make the schedule work for you if this is something that you want to commit to. Okay. Somebody asked about, if you have, some students have testing accommodations, like extended time and that kind of thing. How would that affect it? Well, The tests that we take for the course would be affected a little bit because we only have a 45-minute period every day. So if we're taking a test, then so so our unit tests that are usually basically 85 minutes long for a block scheduled class will now have to be cut in half. So we would have 2-day tests, and then also those of you that have accommodations like time and a half and that kind of thing, we would have to work it in the schedule that you would be able to utilize those accommodations. So that would be flexing during advisory, staying after school to finish up a test, and that kind of thing. So, you would still get all those accommodations and that kind of thing. It would just be, you would have shorter tests to begin with. It would be, truncated, like tests cut in half, like do questions 1 and 2 today, do 3 and 4 the next day, that kind of thing. And that would just be something I have to adjust according to the schedule, which is definitely doable. Another kid asked if they could take 8 classes instead of 7, and you can, but you have to pay for classes. Fairfax County pays for 7 classes, so if you want to take an eighth class, it is something that you can do, but you have to pay for that. I don't know how much that is. It's a question for your counselor, but it is something you could do. I would watch out for that. If you're taking 8 classes and 6 of them are AP or DE, there's not enough time in the day to be successful in all those classes. So that's not something I would do, but some of you are superhuman when it comes to your academics. So it is a possibility. It's something that you should definitely think about if you want to take 8 classes, but it is something that is doable. And I think that kind of answered most of the questions. Again, a lot of the stuff when it comes to like what period would I have off, or can I take 8 classes, how much is 8 classes, how much is an extra class, how much do I have to pay for? That's not something that I know as a teacher. That's something that you would have to talk to your counselor about to figure out. Okay. So if you can scan this QR code, it takes you to the form to let us know that you might be interested. We'd like you to take the form regardless. There's an option that says that you're not interested. So if you're not interested, we'd still like you to fill out the form and just let us know that you're not interested. As of now, it looks like we have around 20 plus students that are showing interest. It doesn't mean they've committed to it. And again, just because you say yes to this, it doesn't mean it's absolutely going to happen. We got to get enough students to sign up for it. Now, another thing you might want to think about is, do you have a friend who signed up for AP Chemistry next year? Do they want to do it? Because then you could carpool. You could work out a schedule that way if you both got into the 0th period. So again, it's something that you really need to think about and weigh out the options before you totally commit to it. But I think it's going to be something that turns out to be a very popular thing. And I think once students see the success you're having, it might open it up that other courses, other AP sciences, maybe even not even sciences, might end up having this as an opportunity moving forward. So you guys would be kind of pioneers in piloting this program, and it might spread throughout the county. So it would be kind of cool. Like you'd be the first ones to do it, and I think it could lead to some more successes down the road for the entire county. But again, something you really have to think about. Don't just jump in and say, "Oh yeah, it's going to be great." Okay, you got to know yourself. If you stay up to 2 a.m. every day and you have a hard time getting to your first period class at 8:10 on time, then maybe this isn't for you, because you got to be here at 7:10, and then you got the rest of the school day for you. Now you might be able to leave early that day, but you would really only be able to leave early every other day, right? Because you would only have either seventh as your free period or eighth as your free period. So you would only be leaving early on, an orange day or a blue day if you get one of those as your free periods. So again, that's something to work out with your counselor, okay? So again, please fill out this form. And, while you're at it, shameless plug, Mr. Fox's chemistry videos on YouTube. You followed the link to watch this video. If you're going to take AP Chemistry, subscribe. Now, all my videos get posted in Schoology and that kind of thing, so you can just watch them in Schoology. But a lot of times it's easier to watch them on YouTube. And I got a lot of playlists, so if you're currently in chemistry, I got all my Chemistry 1 videos up. You could watch them. And then, if you notice, I have some playlists here. These aren't all my playlists, but, over here, full year of AP Chemistry, if you wanted to, you could just watch all these videos and get through all the content that we cover in AP Chemistry. Even some practice AP exams at the end of this playlist and that kind of thing. So, if you're going to be in chemistry, AP Chemistry, you might want to subscribe to this channel so you can watch the videos there and watch them on the YouTube app versus, Schoology. Watching videos on Schoology, sometimes it's not as good quality and that kind of thing. So, again, shameless plug. Look, I got 154 subscribers, so I don't know, you can join the club, okay? Anyway, I hope that answers your questions. I hope that if you're interested in zero period, and that it works with all the other things that you do besides, chemistry. I hope it fits with your schedule, and I hope you decide to do it. But again, if not, we can still have a great year, just normal block scheduling AP Chemistry. But we're hopeful that we would only be able to have one, but one AP zeroth period, AP Chemistry zeroth period. That would be great. So. Have a great day, and if you have any questions, come by, see me, but probably a lot of your questions are going to be more for your counselors and the scheduling and all that stuff. If hopefully it works out for you, and you can, and we'll be meeting early in the morning next year. All right, have a great one.